Hey, God bless you. Bendiga Baruch. This is your man, Coach Will, the man with no plan. Well, actually, I do have a plan. My plan is trusting God. But look, man, the world, our enemy makes trusting in God a hard thing to do or a test of our faith at times. He can make this world his world, which he's ruler of, seems so real in the reality when in fact it's not. So I'm going through that right now. But that's not what brings me to the book of Job. I'm reading Job, trying to get some answers, understand the things that affect our health, life, and death, right? So we know in the New Testament we've been given all power and authority to heal folks, right? To cast out demons and a whole lot of other stuff. So I'm just wondering why we're not walking in that power and that authority right now, and I'm not either. So, though I ask God, hey, man, if it's mine, if it's a gift that I have access to, I'm able to access, then I want to access it. Let me have it. If it's not mine, let me know so I don't pursue what you don't want me to have. So, any rate, I'm reading the book of Job. We know there's three people that have, two entities that have power and authority over sickness, Satan and God, right? So just trying to figure out, again, where do I stand in this whole picture, according to the New Testament? So we're on Job. I'm on chapter 24 today. And so far, I'm not really getting a lot of discernment out of these middle portions. All it seems to be right now is Job's buddies coming over, his homeboys coming over. He's sick as a dog. He all twisted up and busted up, man. Satan and put the voodoo on him. And, they, I don't know if they're encouraging him or they just dogging him out on the sneak or telling him, man, look, man, you done something wrong. You got God wrong. You got God all twisted. And back then you called Jesus had not died, rose, and came back to life yet, not even touched this planet yet. So Yeshua, Jesus, had not touched this planet. So there was no forgiveness for our sins, salvation, other than sacrifices. So they tell him he did something wrong, basically talking trash to him. He like, yo, he come back, man, and talk trash to them. Yo, why y'all coming here talking this trash to me, man, while I'm sick and I'm gone? Blah. He dogged them out. They dog him out. They go back and forth. So, at any rate, right now, I tell you what, they're really eloquent in how they dog each other out. As a matter of fact, his friends seem like they're on the right track initially. Then they take a U-turn. Boom, you done something wrong to tick, Shaddai off. So, any rate, let me get on to reading. Chapter 24, verse 1, why are times not kept by Shaddai? Why do those who know him not see his days? There are those who move boundary markers. They carry off flocks and pasture them. They drive away the orphan's donkey, and as collateral, they seize the widow's ox. They push the needy out of the way. The poor of the land are forced into hiding. Like wild donkeys in the wilderness, they have to go out and scavenge food, hoping that the desert will provide food for their children. They must reap in fields that are not their own and gather late grapes in the vineyards of the wicked. They pass the night without clothing, naked and afraid. Y'all ever watched that show, Naked and Afraid? Uncovered in the cold, wet with mountain rain, and hugging a rock for lack of shelter. Yeah, all that's on Naked and Afraid. You think he had a TV back then? A HD TV? He saw that back then? Anyway, there are those who pluck orphans from the breast and those who take the clothes off the poor in pledge so that they can go about stripping, unclothed. They can go about stripped, unclothed. They go hungry as they carry sheaves of grain. Between those men's rows of olives, they make oil, treading their wine presses. They suffer thirst. Men are groaning in the city. The mortally wounded are crying for help, yet God finds nothing amiss. There are those who rebel against the light. They don't know its ways or to stay in its paths. All right, now it sounds like Job was just talking about how busted up the world is and how God responds or not. Wicked folks and all. Let's keep going. Chapter 24, verse 14. The murderer rises with the light to kill the poor and the needy, while at night he is like a thief. The eye of the adulterer, too, waits for twilight, but he thinks, no eye will see me. But to be sure, he covers his face. When it's dark, they break into houses. In the daytime, they stay out of sight. None of them know the light. For all of them, deep in darkness is like morning. For the terrors of deep darkness are familiar to them. May they be scum on the surface of the water. May their share of land be cursed. May no one turn on the way of their vineyards. May drought and heat steal away their snow water, and shoal those who have sinned. Shoal is hell, or damn. I guess that's in this case, damn them. Well, let's see. Let's check the MacArthur Study Bible right quick. See what it says. Shoal. Oh, I'm not even nowhere near Job in the Study Bible. All right, we're going to keep moving. May the womb forget them. May worms find them sweet. And may they no longer be remembered. Thus may iniquity be snapped like a stick. They devour childless women and give no help to the widows. Yet God keeps pulling the mighty along. They get up, even when not trusting their own lives. However, even if God lets them rest in safety, his eyes are on their ways. They are exalted for a little while, and then they are gone. Brought low, gathered in like all others, shriveled up like ears of grain. And even if it is not so now, still no one can prove me a liar and show that my words are worthless. I mean, it was so long. I don't know I forgot what he's arguing against. What's his point? So let's talk about Bildad the Sushi. What did he got to say? Bildad the Sushi said, chapter 25, verse 1, Bildad the Sushi said, dominion and fear belong to him. He makes peace in the high places. Can his armies be numbered? On whom does his light shine? On whom does his light not shine? How then can humans be righteous with God? How can those born of women be clean? Why? Before him, even the moon lacks brightness, and the stars themselves are not pure. How about that phrase right there? How can those born of women be clean? You remember what Jesus told, was it Ananias? Jesus told the high priest, he said, you got to be born again. Excuse me. I'm stuck in my teeth. He said, you got to be born again, right? So the high priest was like, I think it was Ananias. He was like, how can you do that? So here it is right here. Chapter 25 that points directly with what Jesus says. How much less a human who is merely a maggot, a mortal, who is only a worm. Then Job replied, Iyov, we call him here, in chapter 6, verse 1. Then Iyov replied, what great help you bring to the powerless. What deliverance to the arm without strength. Such wonderful advice for a man lacking wisdom. So much common sense you've expressed. Who helped you say these words? Whose spirit is in you, coming forth from you? So you hear him? He just dogged his homie out right there. A little sarcasm, telling him such great words, wisdom, saying, man, basically you're a dummy, man. I don't even know how you even come up with these words today. These cats, man, they knew how to rip each other's heads off, and eloquently, politely. He goes on, chapter 26, verse 5. The ghost of the dead tremble beneath the water with its creatures. Sheol is naked before him. Abaddon lies uncovered. He stretches the north over chaos and suspends the earth on nothing. He binds up the water in his thick clouds, yet no cloud is torn apart by it. He shuts off the view of his throne by spreading his cloud across it. He fixed a circle on the surface of the water, defining the boundary between light and dark. The pillars of heaven tremble, aghast in his rebuke. He stirs up the sea with his power, and by his skill he strikes down Rahav. What is Rahav? With his spirit, I don't have it open in my MacArthur Study Bible so I can translate that word for you. And it's starting to get dark. I'm trying to capture as much daylight and get this done before it get dark. So I'm not taking the time to do it. So excuse me. So what is Rahab? With his spirit he spreads the heavens. His hand pierces the fleeing serpent. And these are but the fringes of his ways. How faint the echo we hear of him. But who is able to grasp the meaning of his thundering power? Okay. Of course, Job always long-winded. He continues in chapter 27. Iyov/Job continues his speech. He says, I swear by the living God who is denying me justice, and by Shaddai who deals with me so bitterly, that as long as my life remains in me and God's breath is in my nostrils, my lips will not speak unrighteousness, or my tongue utter deceit. Far be it from me to say you are right. I will keep my integrity till the day I die. Now, I didn't get that they're trying to get him to denounce God, but that's what he sounds like. He's telling them, man, I'm not denouncing. Chapter 27, verse 6. I hold on to righteousness. I won't let it go. My heart will not shame me as long as I live. May my enemy meet the doom of the wicked, my foe the fate of the unrighteous. For what hope does the godless have from his gain? When God takes away his life, will God hear his cry? When trouble comes upon him, will he take delight in Shaddai and always call on God? Who is Shaddai? I thought Shaddai was God, or maybe it's the Holy Spirit. I gotta look that up. I am teaching you how God uses his power, not hiding what Shaddai is doing. Shaddai is doing. Look, you can all see for yourselves. So why are you talking such empty nonsense? There you go. Tongue thrashing them. This is God's reward for the wicked man. The heritage oppressors receive from Shaddai if his sons become many. They go on to the sword, and his children never have enough to eat. Those of his who remain are buried by plague, and their widows do not sleep. Even if he piles up silver like dust and stores away clothing in mounds like clay, he may collect it, but the just will wear it, and the upright divide up the silver. He builds his house weak as a spider's web, as flimsy as a watchman's shack. He may lie down rich, but his wealth yields nothing. When he opens his eyes, it isn't there. Terrors overtake him like a flood. At night, a whirlwind steals him away. The east wind carries him off, and he is gone. It sweeps him far from his place. Yes, it hurls itself at him, sparing nothing. He does all he can to flee from its power. People clap their hands at him in derision and hiss out of his home. What you think about that? 13 minutes. I would read chapter 8. Chapter 8 is kind of long. Oh, man. Chapter 28 seems to be a continuation. Man, Iyov, man. He is long-winded. Come on, let's finish off with Iyov. Job got to say. Chapter 28, verse 1. There are mines for silver and places where gold is refined. Iron is extracted from the earth and copper is smelted from ore. Miners conquer the darkness and dig as far as they can to the ore and gloom and deep darkness. There, where no one lives, they break open a shaft, the feet passing over are oblivious to them. Far from people suspended in space, they swing to and fro. Chapter 28, verse 5. While the earth is peaceably yielding bread, underneath it is being convulsed as if by fire. Its rocks have veins of sapphire, and there are flecks of gold. Birds of prey don't know the path. No falcon eye has seen it. The proud beast have never set foot on it. No lion has ever passed over it. The miner attacks the flint, overturns mountains at their roots, and cuts out galleries in the rock. All the while watching for something of value, he dams up streams to keep them from flooding and brings what is hidden out into the light. But where can wisdom be found? Where is the source of understanding? No one knows its value, and it can't be found in the land of the living. The deep says, it isn't in me. The sea says, it isn't in me. It can't be obtained with gold, nor can silver be weighed out to buy it. It can't be purchased with the choice gold from Ophir, or the precious onyx or sapphires. Neither gold nor glass can be compared with it, nor can it be exchanged for a bowl of fine gold, let alone coral or crystal. For indeed, the price of wisdom is above that of pearls. It can't be compared with Ethiopian topaz, and it can't be valued with pure gold. There's speculation as to who wrote this, and some people speculate that it was King Solomon. And if you really listen and read the style and look at all those riches he talk about, very few people that ain't rich understand all those places, not only the precious metals, but where they come from. His rhythm, and it really sounds like, reminds me of King Solomon's writings. Chapter 28, verse 20. So where does wisdom come from? Where is the source of understanding? Inasmuch as it is hidden from the eyes of all living and kept secret from the birds flying around in the sky. Destruction and death say, we have heard a rumor about it with our ears. God understands its way. He knows its place. For he can see into the ends of the earth and view everything under heaven. When he determined that the force of the wind and parceled out water by measure, when he made a law for the rain and cleared a path for the thunderbolts, then he saw wisdom and declared it. Yes, he set it up and searched it out. And to human beings, he said, look, fear of Adonai is wisdom. Shunning evil is understanding. All right. Yeah, man, this is some King Solomon type stuff, man. Kind of deep. But I'm not sure. I can definitely see some wisdom coming out of it, right? I'm not sure if it's answering the question that I'm looking for. Hey, maybe I went on that journey and I didn't just happen on Job, man. I heard a message. It said, read Job. So turns out I've never read Job in its entirety. Turns out I'm not alone. But I'm going to rectify that. And maybe I was sent on a Job mission. I was sent on this mission to get what I needed, even though what I need is not what I thought that I was looking for. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.